Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to import new models into Dragon Ball FighterZ. I recommend you to watch my texture tutorial if you haven't already, cause I won't explain the basics here again. So first you need to find the character which you want to replace. Those files are the model. Just extract them the same way as you would do for textures. And then you should get a PSK file, which we need to convert into an FBX. To do that, open the PSK with FighterZ. You should be able to see the model now. Right-click on your PSK and export. Select FBX and in Advanced option enter -rotate 90 00 to get the right rotation. Before we import our new FBX into 3ds Max, we need to note a few things. I just create the same photo structure as the original path, the same way as you would do for textures. And now we need to import our FBX in Unreal Engine. Just drag it in and this window will pop up. The only options I change here is to uncheck import materials and textures, as we don't need them. Click on import all and you will get 3 files. The mesh, the physics asset and the skeleton. Just double click the model to open it. And you can see the model looks kinda weird there. That's because how the game uses shadows for characters, as it basically uses its own mesh for the shadow. Just isolate the elements on the left side to get a better look at the models. Open up a text editor, cause we need to take some notes now. First we write down the number of elements our model has. In our case we've got 5. And now we need to note which element is which mesh. We need that because the game loads different elements for different places. So 0 is the player model. One is the small box which is used for the outline. Two is the shadow mesh. Three is stuff like the logo on the bust and some lines on the face. We just call it decal for now, as that's how the texture is called. And 4 are the battle damage spots. With that done, we can delete the files in Unreal Engine and move on to 3ds Max. Just import the new FBX we just converted. And those are the import settings I'm using. The different meshes here are the same as the elements we had in Unreal Engine. As we just want to import a new model, you can delete the old ones. I'm just going to create a teapot for now. I just single bind it to the root bone. And now we need to take a look at the element list we made earlier, as we need the same amount of meshes in 3ds Max. So we've got our teapot mesh already, which means we need 4 more meshes. Let's just create a box and scale it down so you won't see it in game. And I just single bind this to the root bone too. Now make 3 more copies of that box, so we get 5 meshes in total. This list on the left orders the meshes by name and not by its actual index. To view the index order, we need to go to the graph editors and track view curve editor. So the index goes from top to bottom, and your teapot should be at the top already. I'll show you how to reorder those later, as we don't need to do that now. All that's left now is to assign a unique material to each mesh. So we just create 5 different materials now. The name doesn't really matter, so you just name them as you want. Select a mesh and a material, and then click on Assign Material to Selection. Just do that for every mesh, so everyone has a unique material assigned. Now you can export your model. And these are my export settings I'm using. Make sure your exported FBX is named the same as the original file. And if that's the case, we can just import the FBX in Unreal Engine. Just do it same way as we did before. You should get the same amount of elements as we had the first time. Let's just isolate them to make sure our mesh order is correct. So 0 is our teapot, which is the player model as we noted before. And the other elements are our boxes, and they should be invisible. With that done, we're good to go and repack our files to test them in game. And as you can see, our mesh loads fine. In battle you will notice that it won't have an outline or a shadow, but I'm going to show you next how to fix that. Back in 3ds Max we need to create a mesh that the game uses for the shadow. The easiest way to do it is just to clone your player mesh. So that's for the shadow, and the outline needs a few more steps. Start by making a copy of the mesh you want to have an outline for. And add a new edit mesh modifier. Now we need to select all vertex points and wield them with a value of 0.001. Then select all elements and we need to flip the normals. What this does is basically that you only will see the inside of the model. And to make it more visible, we just create a new material for the outline and just make it plain black. And now we need to add the push modifier. So with this modifier you can basically adjust how thick your outline will be. To get a better look at it, we need to go to the display tab and check backface cull for your outline mesh. Now just use the push modifier to adjust your outline. Once again, make sure to assign a unique material to every mesh. And now check the mesh order before we export. As you can see, our shadow and outline are the last two now. If you take a look at the element list, they should be under the player model. To reorder them, drag the reorder script in 3ds Max. And after that, go to the utility tab, Max script, and select reorder track view. You get a few options here, but all we really need are those buttons. So now just select the mesh you want to reorder and simply use the buttons to move it up or down. By looking at the element list, we need to move the outline right under the player model, and the shadow needs to be under the outline. When you're done with reordering, you can export as an FBX again. Now import it in Unreal Engine, and then you can check if you reordered your mesh correctly. 0 is the player model, 1 is the outline, 2 is the shadow, and the other two are empty. If it looks good there, we can repack it and test it in game. And you already can see the outline now. When we go into a battle, you can see that the shadow works now too. Now that you know how to get your models in game, I'll quickly give you some info about the different textures. In the color folder we have the base and the SSS texture. The base texture is basically the color, and there's nothing really special about that one. The SSS texture is pretty much the same as the base texture, but it works as a kind of a shading overlay, which will darken or highlight parts of the model. In the base folder we have a decal, a detail, and an ILM texture. The decal is used for stuff like face lines or the logo on the bust for Goku. Detail is basically the same as decal, but for the hair. ILM has two channels. In the RGB channel we have the normals. In the alpha channel you get the black lines, which are used on the clothes or the arms, for example. If you need any help, I'll link the AGM Discord in the description. Just go there if you have a question and we try to help you. Alright, so now follows the part on how to import models with Blender. Thanks to Xan for covering it, and make sure to check out his channel too. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I see you guys in the next video.
Hey guys, today we are going to see how to edit models from FighterZ with Blender. So first of all, we will need two different tools. You will need UModel and you will need Noesis. Of course, you will have to have your game files already extracted. So in my case, I want to edit JKS body. So I copy the path folder. I open UModel. I pass the folder path. I press OK. So now I want to edit JKS body, so I double click it. I choose Unreal Engine 4.17, and then you will see your model. So now, to extract it, you will need to go in Tools, Export Current Object. Now there will be a new folder called UModel Export, and there will be your 3D model in PSK. So now you will need to convert it. Now use Noesis. Open it. And you will have to go through your folders to find your folders with the model. So I've got jksbody.psk in here, so you double click it, and I see my model again. To export it, you will not need to go in File, Export from Preview. You can change the destination file if you want. You will have to change main output type to .fbx, tick rotate 90, and we'll need to write something in advanced options. So you need to write this fbx new export. This way we will be able to import it in Blender. So now click export. Export complete. It is now working. Now we can open Blender. I use version 2.970. Delete all these. Go import fbx, find your folder, and open it. But first we will need to change some import options. Tick manual orientation, change forward to Z forward, and up to -Y up. Now you can import it. You will now see your model. You need to hide the skeleton and join all the parts, since each materials have their own part. So select all and join it with Ctrl plus G. Now we can make the edits you want. So you can make as you wish, like this, like this. It doesn't matter, it is for the video. So now when you finished your model edit, you need to go in File, Export, FBX. Now we need to find the folder you want. But first we need to change some export settings. First we need to untick this hat. Go in Geometry. Change smoothing normally to Face. Go in Armatures and untick Add Leaf Bones. Now you will be able to export it. Change the name if you wish. And export it. Now your model is ready to be imported in Unreal Engine and then imported in the game. So that will be it for today. Bye.